What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday Tiermaker on Lineman Life Live. I am your observant lineman, Uche Waneri. Got Urinate and Tree, 5 Points videos here, and we are ready to get this thing crack-a-lackin'. The playoffs are upon us. Last week of the regular season coming up, week 18, we got the Tiermaker as usual. And we got a couple of interesting scenarios that are going to play out, or that could play out certain ways for certain teams to get into the playoffs. All those things hinge on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let that sink in for a minute. So the Jags are currently holding the playoff future, the playoff berths, for both the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the palms of their sweaty Jaguar hands, mittens, whatever you want to call it. And there's a little bit of talk about it. Now, that's not the only thing going on, obviously, with Jacksonville, but to kind of start this thing off, talking about the playoff scenarios as we get in, before we get into the Tiermaker. Tree, what do you think, man? What do you think? The Jags just have to beat the Colts. The Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014, have you?
Yeah.
Alas, this is not the same.
At this point, you're just like, you're just clinging to any sort of hope you have left. To be fair, like a lot of those wins for Indiana and Jacksonville and Indianapolis were in weird circumstances. I think 14 and 15 were without there was like rough teams that were just mediocre, same as 16. 17 and 18 were the Saxonville era. 19 was, I think, without Andrew Luck. Then 20 was the only one that was like really out there because that was week one, you know.
Yeah,
Ross,
the Jaguars were healthy.
And also they had Gardner Minshew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
they had like they had a semblance of a team. I mean, they had James Robinson, who ran for over 1,000 yards that season. So they had like some competitiveness in there, but the tank went into full effect after like week 3, and they were just trying to get that generational pick. The Jags are not only holding playoff futures in their hands, they are also going to be – it's going to be the stage of what will be a first in the NFL. A very first. And here comes Justin. Jump on in here, Justin. What's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
It's going to be a first, maybe in NFL history, maybe in sports history, that a unified movement of fans are going to enter the stadium on Sunday as clowns. It's going to be called the Clown Out. Clown Out is happening this Sunday, 1 p.m. in Duval. Fans are pissed, obviously. I mean, most everyone who is who has any connection to the Jaguars organization is scratching their head for sure, with Shad Khan keeping GM Trent Baalke in the stable after what appeared to be time for a straight purging of the entire staff and management for the Jags. And, it kind of didn't make sense to get rid of Urban Meyer and not get rid of the guy who picks the players with him, especially after the kind of season they've had this year. But Jags fans are going to be dressed up in clown attire. Now, I will say this. I've been deliberating on it. I even put my head on the pillow thinking about it. I said, you know what? I think it's time for Ooch to join in on the march.
Really?
I'm going to live stream a watch-along of the Colts versus the Jaguars in my own clown attire.
Ooh,
to show my solidarity.
All right.
Get rid of Baalke. Get rid of him. So make sure you check the channel for details on that. Now, let's get up into this Tiermaker because, it is time for them offs. It's time for them offs. Some offs are among us, upon us. And as you guys know, we do the Tiermaker each and every Wednesday. We got our categories here. At the bottom, you can see the worst of the worst. Clown Town garbage.
Clown Town races.
Clown Town garbage. Spare some change, governor. Well, actually, this is supposed to be down here. Hot trash. then spare some change. Fight for the right. It's my turn and the bad guys. So the picture for the NFL playoffs is pretty much set, right? I mean, there's a couple things here and there that could change alignment, I guess, or who?
I know the AFC East and NFC West are the only two divisions. Number one seed in the AFC and a couple wildcard spots.
Yeah, it's almost set.
Okay, so
Most of it got settled last week.
yeah, a lot of teams, made their claim or got booted out last week. But let's go ahead and get this thing started. We got our first matchup here. Chiefs at Broncos. Chiefs are minus 490. Obviously, the Chiefs found their groove. They got their groove back.
But they haven't locked up the top seed though.
But they haven't locked the top seed. That's correct. So they're still actually playing for something.
Yeah, they're the bad guys again for sure.
Even if they're the 2 seed, I think they're going to be a legit threat.
Oh, no question.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be contending for that Lombardi. So
like the Cincinnati, that wasn't a loss really in Kansas City. Cincy had to earn that win. And to be fair, if you go one-on-one coverage down the sidelines every single time with Jamar Chase and not give a safety to play deep instead of one-on-one coverage with Travarius Ward, you leave him on an aisle. What do you expect's going to happen?
Dude,
exactly.
Jamar Chase was an absolute machine. I was like, are y'all going to double him? Y'all going to put somebody on him? Safety help? Something?
Yeah, you should have done cover 2 and then just do a heavy favor towards where
bracket
Jamar
them.
Chase
They
is
got to
playing.
bracket them. Have somebody play outside. Have somebody play inside.
He was
just run with him.
He was snacking.
You got to do something.
He had them little Debbie snacks just laid out all over the turf.
Yeah.
Try something.
Eating off of.
It's like leaving a cat on the island, on the O-line and not chipping or anything. Same thing.
Yeah, but that's
This is what
Spagnuolo, though.
happens.
Spagnuolo, he's stubborn. I mean, he obviously he was the DC for the Giants, and he's won 2 Super Bowls now.
3
as a
actually. I
DC.
think he was the coordinator for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
that's-
all out.
that's right.
He'll run cover 0 on blitzes because he don't give a fuck. But it'll backfire. And if Joe Burrow obviously was up for it, he was like, "Fuck
he's
you,
ready for it."
bring that shit." I know where they're coming from.
That's the mark of a good offense. That's the mark of a good offensive coordinator, because at the end of the day, you want a defense to blitz you if you're a good offense, because it makes it easy to shred them. So you to an extent, you dare a defense to test your quarterback, because you look at how it played out with the Bengals, and I mean, he was on, Joe Burrow was on the money. Anytime they try to add pressure, he just exposed it, because you got to leave something. Somebody's going to be open.
Yeah.
There's always somebody open.
Always going to be a gap.
So that's kudos to them. The Bengals, man, I mean, they made it happen, dude. They did it in 2 years. They did it in 2 years once they got Joe Burrow. So definitely good look for them. Broncos, obviously, they ain't shit. They ain't going nowhere. But I mean, they could have a future. We'll see what that Russell Wilson sweepstakes looks like at the end of the season.
I mean, if they strike out on a quarterback again, they're in trouble. My question is, do they keep Fangio? Because I know Shermer has to be gone, but that offense has been putrid.
Yeah, it's been stale, to say the least.
Very stale. I mean, even when they were playing the Steelers, it was nothing but checkdowns on 3rd and long. You can't win like that.
Yeah.
No, can't do that. That right there is scared coordinator, just checking down every time. Check down.
Conservation. And I know Teddy Bridge is a very high floor, low ceiling quarterback, but I think even he's better than throwing 5-yard checkdowns on a 3rd and 14.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, let him. If nothing else, let him launch it. If it gets picked, it might as well be a punt.
Right.
But
It's never really been his MO to push it down the field, tremendously. But
no.
It's
you
crazy.
can do better than a check down on 3rd and 15 every time.
When he was at Louisville, man, he used to slang that thing.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
He had flawless mechanics. I mean, he had the
Injury bug.
ideal motion for throwing, and he just he got banged up. I think he got injured in practice in that.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah, non-contact too.
Yeah.
Non-contact.
Pretty much fucked this shit up.
The worst.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Cowboys and Eagles. Cowboys are minus 290. Big story with them. Tavon Diggs is going to be out.
Oh, him too.
COVID list.
No. It's
Oh, it was Micah
Micah
Parsons.
Parsons.
Oh, my bad. Parsons. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Parsons.
all
Which one is
good.
Parsons? Is what? What number is he?
11.
11, right? Yeah, that's what I was
I'll
thinking.
never get used to that shit. A linebacker number 11. Come on now.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
That is weird. I didn't really like. I mean, I get it because in college you see receivers wearing, or you see like skill positions wearing single digit numbers, but it's weird in the NFL because I mean, for decades it's always been linebackers or 50s.
50.
You know what I
50s
mean?
and 60s, maybe
Whatever.
90s.
Yeah, you might have one. You might have a guy who's outside rusher like Watt, who's wearing a 90. But
Yeah,
that
not 11.
is pretty weird.
Although I played with the guy.
I hate seeing
played with the guy in college that
linebackers
wore
wearing like 6. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cornerback. Yeah. Pat Pete, I think's number 6 this year, if I remember correctly.
I think
Corner.
you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're
it's
right.
weird. So the Cowboys are what, the 4 seed? Right now?
I think that's right.
Let me check. Yeah. It's,
Yeah,
Yes.
Cowboys
I
are
actually-
4 seed right
they're
now.
4.
They're lined up to play against Arizona
In a
in the wild
rematch.
card. Yep, that'll
Yeah.
be interesting. But Cowboys just looking to close it out strong, I guess. They can't move up, can they? Can they move up
I
at all?
don't think so.
let me see.
I don't think so.
Well, they
They're-
probably lost tiebreaker. I mean, they lost to the Bucks and then the Rams.
And it's the Rams.
Let me
so,
check a look.
with some help, maybe you can.
I mean, it'd be tough.
I think.
Yeah, I don't think they can get moved up on that.
I know they can't be the number 1. I know that. For a
Yeah,
fact.
that's
No,
locked up.
Nah.
But they've
That's
not
why,
done.
not if you ask Scooter McGruger.
It might be better if they have a road game.
They're always number 1, according to him.
Number 1 team.
Yeah, it might be better to go on the road for them. Like all their really big letdowns have been at Jerry World.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Never forget my first time at Jerry World. Well, we spanked that ass 35-10. Woo. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Next game up. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let's tear them up. What am I doing? So we got division here.
Mhm.
Eagles. I mean, Eagles are fighting for the right. They clinched. They're
They
in.
clinched. Yeah, they're the walker. Probably get their ass kicked, but they clinched.
I think it's my turn is for the division.
Nah, I'm just hoping that they're 1 and out. Like,
I mean,
just get your shit out.
They're
Yeah.
probably looking at. I mean, unless San Fran loses, they're looking at a date with either the Bucks or the Rams.
I think they're going to LA.
Oof. I mean,
That's going to be. I mean, unless Matt Stafford pulls a Detroit, I don't see how Philly can pull that one out.
Yeah, their injuries would be the key thing for those kind of games to get to have the scales tipped a little bit. All right, next game up here we got Bengals at Cleveland. How is Cleveland favored?
These
Really?
games are
Well,
so
I-
hard to predict.
actually,
now, 'cause they're playing for
I think-
nothing.
I think I know why, because I think Joe Burrow's going to be out of that game. I think they're letting him sit.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sure they're like,
already
wait.
declared that he's resting for the playoffs.
Makes perfect sense. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he's
why
a little
risk him?
banged up knee.
Yeah, a guy that
Yeah.
has,
Brandon Allen's a decent quarterback. He's shown up in some moments. So I think he has a couple wins on his belt.
Yeah, they must be locked in. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
moving.
I mean, if you looked at Cleveland against Monday against Pittsburgh, like they looked checked out, like they were dead.
Oh yeah, they said,
Oh
"Fuck
my
this
goodness.
shit."
Was it
Going
nine-
2
nine
weeks to
sacks?
Vegas. 2 weeks to
Pretty
Vegas.
much. It's just like, okay, let's count this. And then Baker looked like he was just his mind was out like in a progressive commercial.
Baker said, "Fuck it, I need to." He's getting all this shit packed up at the stadium. They might be done with him.
He was taking a beating. They did not do
Might
him
be
any
done with the
favors.
boy.
Well, when you go one-on-one against one of the better linebackers in football with a fourth-string right tackle that's a rookie, what do you
Right.
expect's going to happen?
Yeah, true that. True
But he had
that.
4 sacks in the game or something.
He had
3 or
4 and then 9 against Baker all game. I'm like, dear
And
God.
they ain't even give the boy no help.
Exactly.
They had
Give him a
Nick Chubb
chip.
on the sidelines most of the game. I'm like, what are you doing? He's the only
Nah.
guy generating traction.
they don't seem to care, man. That's Stefanski, a little overrated.
They trying to get out the building too. They trying to get to their vacation time.
Yep. They're trying to get to that golf course.
Next up, Green Bay at Detroit. Green Bay's minus 180. I'm pretty sure Green Bay's sitting some players as well.
Yeah. I
mean,
think
wouldn't make any
Rodgers will
sense
probably
for
play
them
like
to-
a quarter or two. I think that's what he's shooting for.
Green Bay's up there. They're part of the bad guy group.
They are part.
Detroit.
I mean, they're headed. I mean, they should be the favorite to head to the Super Bowl. You know, in the NFC, they should be. They won't.
Well, to translate to NFC Championship game loss, we know this.
But
They're-
you know
they're
what?
usual.
If they go to the Super Bowl, that means Dallas isn't. So I'm kind of fine with that.
Come on.
Actually, you know what? Think neither go to the Super Bowl, but instead think maybe. I'm trying to think who would be a good candidate. Tampa Bay.
Oh,
and then we
my
just deal with
fucking
Tom
God.
Brady's BS. So
From
we lose
one
either way.
moan
We deal
to
with,
another.
I
we
think
deal with
if
the Rams or
if Green Bay gets a rematch with Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game, they have to win that game. They
They got
they
to win.
lose, like
Well,
it's over.
From what I'm seeing here, they got to win it. They got to win it because it's going to be Green Bay's going to play whoever wins Dallas, Arizona, and then you got Tampa Bay. What's this?
Well, wouldn't they just always play the lowest remaining seed? Or do they not?
I don't fucking know how this shit works.
I think the NFL reseeds. It's not like the NHL where they don't reseed.
I think they'll play whoever the worst.
Yeah, the NFL
team is
always
every week.
reseeds. So that's why.
So what does
they
that mean?
make
What
it-
does reseeding mean?
So basically,
like-
if there's an upset, they'll play the lower. They'll always play the lowest seeded remaining team.
Right. So if
So
like
if
the
somehow-
The top seed always plays the lowest seed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I mean that's how the NBA does it.
Yeah, the NBA does it.
Yeah.
The NHL does not. The NHL is like the NCAA, where you beat the top seed, you become the top seed in the NCAA. That's how it
Oh,
is.
wow. Yeah, that's weird.
Strike down the man, you become the man.
Become
Yeah, like
the
Rick-
man himself.
Like Ric Flair says, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo! All right, so Detroit's out of there. We all know that. They hot trash. Got a super chat here. Jason Gaines, $5. He says, happy 14th anniversary to Uche's 2007 Jags, an upset playoff road win over Tree Steelers with a game-winning Josh Scobie field goal. Well done, Uche. Well, thank you very much, Jason. And yes, we did. And we repeated that 10 years after that. Jags win
Yes,
and
and
did it
you'll
again.
probably end up repeating it this year by screwing us over again. So
And we beat him. We're gonna beat him again this year. You damn right.
by proxy. So you know how this
By
goes. It's
proxy.
like Jags are kryptonite for whatever reason.
The Jags hold your destiny once again.
Pretty much.
RC from NYC, $10 super chat. He says, "What's up, gentlemen? What's up, chat? Hope all is good. Any thoughts on this year's draft? I'm thinking it may be the first defense-heavy first round in years." Oof, I have not even really had a chance to look at like who. I mean, I know that they're talking about some
The kid from
defenders.
Oregon.
I mean,
Thibodeau?
there are not many quarterbacks. I mean, Malik Willis will go first round, I would think.
Kid out of Liberty.
It's like
Corral would
Corral,
go.
Pickett,
Yeah,
maybe
Carson.
Carson Strong. I'm hearing
Yeah.
Sam Howell. I mean, you might get 5. It depends if somebody shoots up in the combine.
Goodness.
Yeesh. You know, somebody's
Maybe,
always
but-
going to bust. Somebody is going to
Run
fucking
something crazy
max
or-
out the combine and get a first round draft status purely on their numbers.
Well,
Every time.
remember,
Not
DK
on their
Metcalf had that great combine. He still didn't go high because of the fear of Mike Mamula syndrome. So think of it that way.
Yeah, well, you never
It's
know. I
still
usually
big.
see that happen. There's always like one player who gets a massive boost just off the numbers, and they don't really have
Right.
great.
Someone's
film.
going to go out and run a 4.2, and
And just be
Oakland's
the
going to
talk
cream
of
their
the fucking
pants. Like,
draft.
oh my God, we got to get this guy. He's too fast.
He's got elite speed. That'd be a Raiders call.
Oh,
Beckham,
it's always,
speed.
it's always the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're like the all measurable team.
All right, next up, Bears at Vikings. Don't think anybody cares about this one. Vikings are minus 195. Vikings, what are they doing with about Zimmer?
Well, I mean, you think about either team. This is probably the last game for both Nagy and Zimmer. Maybe
Yep.
Spielman and maybe Pace.
Maybe they switch places.
That would be a Vikings best thing to do.
That would be the most Chicago Bears thing ever.
Yes.
Crazy. Okay. Next up, skipping on. Washington football team at New York. They are favored over the Giants, minus 320.
Giants gonna lose. They had minus 10 yards against the Bears.
They get hot trash for that.
They are fucking hot trash. Redskins are much better. I don't care what you say. They're the Redskins.
They're going to be what? They're revealing their name in February. February 2nd.
They're going to be like the Washington Dick Commanders or something.
Revealing the Washington Ding Dongs.
Yeah,
that's. I saw
like
a picture.
5 bad choices
like
they had.
Oh man, they have. I mean, it's really hard to rename them. Honestly, like, what do you call them?
Commanders, Admirals. I think
Managers.
It was all bad.
I think the football team is fine. Just keep.
I think they're gonna hype this up and just keep it the football team, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Fucking."
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I fell for this shit again.
Fell for it again. He filled the stadium up for it again.
Watch him keep that shit.
God. Next up, the game that will decide the fate of a nation, a Steeler nation, if you will. Jags, Colts at Jags. Colts are minus 1,000.
Oh, jeez.
The odds are stacked like they've never been stacked before.
Colts are getting in, all right? Like, there's just no way. They're getting in.
Clown Town garbage. It will be the clown out. They will sing songs of that day.
I can't wait to see this shit.
Listen.
Ooh.
If someone could like hack the PA system and get like the carnival music.
I'm really surprised that Jacksonville needs these gate receipts so bad that they haven't like made a statement that says that if you show up wearing clown gear, like you will not,
you're not getting in.
They probably will after a while.
I'm surprised they're letting it happen, but I mean, again, it's your right. Like you should be allowed to, but
people wear paper bags over their head all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not Green Bay.
I don't see it much different than that. Like people dress up in like makeup and gear all the time. Like, what's the difference between like somebody dressing up as like Darth Vader at a Raiders game or Steely McBeam at a Steelers game, and compared to like a clown suit?
Wasn't there some stadium that banned opposing gear though? There was a playoff in the NHL. They banned other teams.
I think it was I forget who it was. I think
that's some hating ass shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably smart to not wear opposing shit when there was Oakland.
Yeah, in Oakland. Yeah. Or you go to Oakland.
Shoot,
I had family and friends that were like, people were trying to start fights with us just because we had Jaguar jerseys on.
It ain't gonna be formally banned.
That's my son out there.
Best practices.
We were playing in Oakland. There was I remember this because I was like on the sideline at defense was out there, so I was looking and I could see in the crowd because people were like getting a little rowdy in the crowd. And I see one of those inflatable dicks just bouncing around. And I swear to you, there was a female cop who went up in the stands, pulled out a knife, and just daggered that damn thing right in front of people. It was hilarious. But there were people fighting. The field smelled like weed. Damn, somebody is burning in this mug. Shit. But Jaguars minus 1,000. It's gonna be an interesting Sunday to say the least. Kevin Michael Von Magnum with a 50 ball. Appreciate you, brother.
Friend of the dumpster fire, yes.
Friend of the DF. He said didn't show up last night to talk about the Dupree incident. Anyways, Uche, Blaylock, have you or any of your teammates opened up about struggling with fame, i.e. being accosted at public places? If yes, how'd you handle it? I mean, I think we kind of it's hard to I guess complain about that. I guess. I mean, I didn't. I mean, I had been out in times in Jacksonville where people, a family would come up to me while I'm eating dinner, And I'm like, whoa, like I'm like literally with food in my mouth, and they're just like, hey, good luck on Sunday. Can we get pictures? And they all start pulling out their phones, and I'm like, damn, I'm trying to eat my food.
Right.
And I'll tell them, hey, just give me like 15 minutes. You guys want to hang out? Give me 15 minutes. I'll meet y'all at the front and take a picture. No problem. But right now, shit, I'm hungry. I'm about to eat this damn food. I smoked a blunt on the way up here. Y'all got to leave me alone. You got to give me a second.
I think that's about as bad as it's going to get for linemen anyways. I mean, hell, we're lucky if anyone recognizes us.
For real.
I mean, I get it for guys, the high profile, more prominent fellows.
Diva motherfuckers.
Some of them enjoy it. I don't think anyone has ever, not that I've heard, disliked it. I mean, maybe it's annoying at times, like if you're eating or, with your family or something like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, our guys were always, courteous, like, hey, like Ooch said, give me, a couple minutes. I'm finishing up with my family or whatever the case may be. We'll do whatever you want.
I'm waiting for this edible to kick in, and then I'll be more sociable.
Yeah, or something, whatever the case may be. I don't think I've ever,
Now I will say
this, like a complete dick. Like, no, fuck you, get away from me.
Right.
There was one time in Jacksonville. I wasn't there, but I mean, this was news in Jacksonville when it happened. It was they have this little boat party over in Ponte Vedra, and Maurice Jones-Drew was there with some of his homeboys, and they're just hanging out, drinking, doing their thing, and I guess there was a fan who was trying to like get to Maurice, and Maurice's friends were like, "Chill out, he's chilling, like leave him alone." And they end up getting in a fight, and I guess I don't know if this is true. So I don't know if it's 100% because they tried to press charges against Maurice. They ended up not pressing charges, but I guess he knocked somebody out.
Oh shit!
At the party, which I mean, party. I would say that would be the only environment where you could have a potential tension where there's somebody who's had a little bit too much to drink, and maybe they're feeling like if they're not given some attention by this star athlete when they try to say hi immediately, then they get a little aggressive and then get their ass rolled the fuck out, and then they try to sue afterwards. I mean, that happens.
Like Maurice doesn't seem like someone you want to mess with. Like if you're nice to him, he seems like he'll be nice to you back, but if he politely tells you, hey dude, could you leave us alone, or hey, we're hanging out, like I would just end it right there.
Leave the man alone.
I don't want to mess with Maurice Jones-Drew. Like he seems pretty intense. Like he could turn up the switch when he needs to.
And this was like right after like his first Pro Bowl too. So it's like, shit. Like I will knock your ass out. Get away from me, sucker.
I'm already making.
Don't get it twisted.
But I think the thing is, like, so there have been stories of athletes being big time assholes. Like my friend Brian, he met Sean Kemp. Now Brian's also like 6'7". So he went up to him at this bar and he was like, "Oh my gosh, Sean Kemp, like he's just as tall as he is," and he's just like, "Hey, I'm a big fan. I know you're on the Sonics and all that stuff, and I just want to say thanks. Like I just want to meet you and shake your hand." And Sean Kemp said, "Thanks, man. Now get the fuck out of my face." Like he was so appreciative, and then after it was one of those never meet your heroes type things. He walked back to where he was and just sat back down, and didn't want to talk for the rest of the day.
You mean like Warren Sapp?
Yeah, it was a Warren Sapp type. He was like surprised that he was an asshole. And some people are like, some athletes are genuinely just like that, malcontents that don't like the fame, don't like people bothering them. There's not many, but there's when you go on the internet and you hear and you read like on Reddit, like celebrity encounters, there's a few people whose names always come up.
Right.
Always
Jose
come
Canseco.
up.
That's the one
Guy's
I
a
hear a ton.
fucking
They
dick.
like some aspects of the fame, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
like
some
the
trappings
pussy
that they
part.
love.
They like the parts on TV. They don't like the parts
Right.
in real life.
They like the parts of women throwing themselves.
Yeah,
Out, and
exactly.
they'll talk to them.
Yeah.
But
do
if
that
you
all
some
day.
dude that admires them, good luck.
Daddy can do that all day.
Don't meet your hero. I hear James Corden is one that comes up all the time. As
Well,
a
James
fucking
Corden isn't
kid.
funny, so that's
Yeah.
that's fitting. I don't know why anyone would want to meet up with James Corden to begin with, but whatever.
I don't know, Justin. Have you ever met up with somebody where you were like shocked at how much of an asshole they were? Like, or been like, wow, this guy's not cool. Like, holy shit.
No, most of the folks I've come across have been pretty cool. I mean, I guess it helps if, you know, I'm big as fuck.
right. Yeah, they're not gonna tell Justin Blair, like, hey, fuck you, dude. Get out of my face. Like,
Yeah,
no.
it's usually the small guy though that does that. It's the tiniest guy in the room.
Yeah,
Stands right in the doorway when you're trying to leave.
Yeah.
Excuse
Well,
me, buddy. You want to say excuse? You want to get the fuck out of my way? It's like,
When
dude,
I was a
I'm
bouncer,
leaving.
when I was a bouncer in a nightclub, the little guys would always give the most problems. Like, it wasn't hard to kick them out, but they'd be all the ones that always draw back the fist and elbow you as you're
real.
kicking them out. And you're like, man, fuck. I didn't want to get elbowed tonight. Now I'm gonna have to kick a little man's ass. And I was
For
always the
real.
small. I'm only 5'10", 5'11". Like I'm always I'm the asshole already. I'm the asshole bouncer. Now you gonna be the little asshole that comes in here that I'm gonna have to fuck up. Shit used to
Man, I'm
piss me
telling you.
off.
I've dealt with that shit a few times.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Big matchup.
Baltimore favored -225 on this one.
It's weird.
I think for
Big Ben's
some
last
reason-
game? Is this Big
Yeah.
Ben's last game?
Probably. I think like the way he was looking last week, his body's breaking down on him. 2.9 yards per passing attempt. I think this is it.
Yeah, he already had the Cinderella. He already had the Butch Cassidy moment. This is the reality setting in.
Now
where-
back to reality, you guys
Yeah.
aren't making the playoffs, and you're
Yeah.
done. We need a new
I mean,
quarterback.
it'll take massive BS to make the playoffs, which I could really see
Right.
happening, but
And there,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
there will be not a sliver of mercy from Baltimore. They've been waiting to. They'd like to send him off on a cart. So
Right.
Ooh, how many
they-
times has Big Ben ended Baltimore's season?
many times.
Couple
Many a
times.
times. Ooh,
2016.
Yeah.
Ooh, they gonna
So they
send
have
him
no
off on
love
the
lost.
shield, huh? Leonidas
Right.
style.
Come back with your shield or on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I
shit.
like Baltimore to win this game, honestly, but
Oh,
the dream
man.
dies hard. Tree.
Dream
Yeah,
will die.
I mean,
Where do we put these Steelers?
I mean,
these
they're both in the
finals.
epitome of purgatory, so I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
No,
Fight
they're
for
still
your right.
fighting though. They're
I
still
mean-
fighting for their right.
Yeah, purgatory is
True,
scarce
they are
from
fighting.
change.
But guess what? They cannot have a losing record.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, that's something that's a silver lining.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a silver lining.
That's all they could hope for with a broke down Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Tomlin coaching his ass off to get
Ben
this
Roethlisberger at its worst, and you still get a non-losing season.
That's the thing. It's literally just 5 players. It's a bad football team, and I have no idea how they keep winning. It's just like,
team. Yeah.
I was like, oh, look, it's like one big play in the other team. Oh, there's a flag. It's taunting.
I don't know what
Like-
you do for next
like-
year. Do you go out and trade for a vet? You
I
know,
think they
like,
probably try for a
Trade
vet,
what?
that would be my guess.
trade what is a good question. But
Well, I
like,
mean, they'll
would you
probably
add-
trade like a second or a third round.
Oh,
pick for
yeah, yeah,
somebody.
yeah. Just
would
mortgage
you
the
take
future.
Matt Ryan?
Dude, Matt Ryan would be worst case scenario. It's just Ben. But I mean, I could see it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just push
Matt
the clock
Ryan is
back.
still top 10 in the NFL in passing.
He's a beast.
Oh, no question. He's gonna be a
He's
monster.
still top 10.
He's a
What
good
crap-
quarterback. I just
from
think
what
like
you
he's
got.
starting to fade.
But I mean, it's only
He
gonna
is
buy
starting
you.
to fade, but
It's gonna buy you what, 4 or 5 more years?
Nah, like maybe
I
two
mean,
years,
he,
if that.
he did something with the Falcons that nobody really expected. Kept them, got them like they were in the chase. They were playing
Yeah.
for something in December.
Gosh,
They-
Matt
they
Ryan.
mattered.
13 seasons. You really think that Matt Ryan has 5 more years left?
I mean, these guys need to start hanging out with
top
Tom.
10 in NFL passing. His QBR is in the top 10.
All these guys need to start hanging out with Tom in the offseason. Whatever that motherfucker's doing.
Get that HGH.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Tom on that HGH, he got to be.
You got to be.
Yeah, they have
Gotta be.
perfect hair at 44.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He done got leaner.
Ugh.
Barely got to any gray hair. Fuck out of here. What are you juicing on, buddy? Anyways, we got a super chat here. Lost history. $5 super chat. He says, checked out the rule on Matt Ryan's dive. Turns out the league changed the rule in October last year. A QB dive is considered the same as a slide. Wow.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
stupid.
That
I'm
is
not a fan
some
of that.
bullshit.
Yeah, and
No
And
matter
they
where
called
it
him for
takes place.
taunting.
so
And they called him for taunting.
Damn.
so the thing
And he's just like
is-
staring at him. It's like, and it's just taunting. Can't stare. You traumatized that kid.
Crazy. They say a quarterback diving is the same, but you can hit him. You
right.
can hit him if he dives.
Right,
Then
like
why
where
would you
does
ever
he
dive?
become a runner? So if a slide, so the thing
this
with the
is
league
crazy.
is the ball is placed at the start of the slide, not at the end of it.
Yeah, not
So
at
you
the
don't
end.
get any net on it. So if it's a dive is the same as a slide, the ball is going to be placed at the start
Where
of
you
the
start
dive.
the dive. Okay, so why ever dive?
Right. Why would you ever dive?
Yeah, that's a rule that doesn't make
That's
sense.
so stupid. So
Dang.
QB,
Listen,
so
here's-
Mike Vick can't dive for the end zone, and that he's marked down where he.
Well, he's down
he-
where he jumped at.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, do you have to get in the end zone then dive? Like,
What
is
about the
bullshit.
quarterbacks who jump over the O line at the goal line to reach the ball over?
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
where
yeah.
they mark that?
Tom Brady's
That's-
done that a ton. So is he down at the 1?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you QB sneak, are you just automatically down as soon as you snap it? That's
That's
kind of just
stupid.
Like that
diving.
shit don't make no
Like,
sense.
because the
I mean,
QB sneak, all you do is like dive
Yeah.
down. So I don't
They
understand.
made that fucking
Wow.
roll up on the field after it happened. Yeah, it's the same as a slide, right? Like, come on, that doesn't make no damn sense.
Wow.
They got to alter it for
I'm just
goal
taking it
line
back right now.
situations.
Yeah, there has to be something different.
Yeah, and I just did a video on rule changes, of course.
Wow. All right,
That's a bad
next
one.
up, we got Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee's favored -525. Tennessee locked it in. They got the division. They're going to be sitting at their top seed in the AFC
Yeah,
right
top
now.
seed
Yeah.
right now.
They could
Whew,
lock it up.
You know what? That's a hell of a coaching job. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No Derrick Henry, who's been cleared for activities.
I think
At
he
one point,
practiced today.
you were missing Julio and you were missing what's his
AJ
name?
Brown.
AJ Brown.
Yep. I mean, after that embarrassing loss in Pittsburgh, I figured, okay, that's when they start to tater down and become a wild card team. But they bounced back. They've had some good wins.
And like I said, man, that Tennessee is the purest football team, I think, in the NFL in terms
Two-way.
of they played a game in a traditional football style. They're running the ball first and foremost. You got to stop their run, and then they'll, their passing game is completely predicated off of their run game the majority of the time, and their defense plays stout defense.
Deontay
Dante
Williams
needs
has
to-
really.
he's not a slouch either. He's been solid.
Yeah, he's found his groove.
Plus,
I
you're getting
think-
Derrick
I mean,
Henry back potentially.
Mhm.
An
Now
extra
you have
week to rest up.
two pretty solid backs.
And they still had good backs in there when he was gone. Like they had
Right,
production.
right.
Yeah.
They
So
had
now
good
it's
production.
more of a
So
almost household name.
I mean, look, man, I'm gonna make this prediction, and it's not just because I'm an AFC South guy, but I think that is the most dangerous team to play against in the playoffs. A team that is that plays a pure style of football, because a lot of teams aren't used to playing against
They're
that anymore.
Physical, they run the ball. That shit travels.
They're a
Not-
physical,
even though they won't have to until the Super Bowl. They got all home
yeah,
games.
they're a downhill team. They're a downhill team. They come at you downhill on offense and defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hardest team to play against. I mean,
The question
I would
is, are
put
they
my
going to
money
be
if I had to
healthy
put money
enough?
on it.
Mm.
Yeah, that will be the question. The question will be, what does Derrick Henry look like when he comes back? I'm sure, he's going to go right to work. As soon as they start the playoffs, he's going right to work.
It's not just that. You're also looking at the team that I think has broken the record for most players dressed in a season. So how much of that is like getting those players back and gelling together,
Right,
and they
getting
haven't
some
really had a
time.
full season.
Yeah.
How much is that going to affect them? So there's another question you have to deal with.
Yeah. You got to have chemistry. You have to have a lot of things have to be going the right way in that first week of the playoffs. And there are teams that are hitting their stride right now. But I mean,
Well,
when I
they're
look
pushing
at the,
that week one week further out with the bye.
yeah, and they got the
It's
bye.
hard-
Now that
it's
could be a
hard
good
enough to
thing or a bad
maintain
thing.
your
You don't know. We don't know yet.
momentum. If you're hitting on all cylinders when you get it, but I mean, if they're just getting people back and get the bye, it'd be very easy to come out in the divisional round and be pretty rusty.
Yeah, that's true. You could come out and be rusty. I don't know. I think the way that
the way
Mike
they
Vrabel's
play,
had this
I think
team
it's
playing the last half of the season, I don't think it. Honestly, I don't know if it matters who's out there. I think they have a precise kind of like mentality. Their identity is set. Everybody is playing the same way for that team. They all have the same mentality about playing. It's all physical, all downhill, and it's pound your opponent into submission. And that's their culture. That's their culture. So I think, when I look at all the teams that are, when I look at the matchups, I really feel like, especially, looking at the AFC, you got Buffalo, who was up and down. They've gotten back on their stride, but they were up and down with the full deck. Cincinnati had their ups and downs early in the season. The Colts, they started kind of slow. Kansas City had their ups and downs midway through the season. Chargers are still kind of wobbly right now as we speak. I think that Tennessee is the only team that has kind of just stuck to what they are. They just continued to pound away, and it's paid dividends. I feel like they're an underdog to get to the Super Bowl. To me, I feel like they're a dark horse for me to get to it, because it's going to be hard to play against that.
Yeah.
A lot of these defenses are not playing against 25, 30 runs a game.
Yeah, no one
They
wants
will
to see
be
that.
if they go against Tennessee, and that's going to be hard.
Yeah, no one wants to get double teamed all night.
Yeah,
that doesn't
nobody
sound
wants
good.
ISO and powers
Not like-
coming at their ass all game long. Shit,
Double team with offensive linemen,
I'm
not
telling you.
like a fucking
So
gang
shit, they're doing that now. Texans are hot trash. We know that. There's no doubt about that. Moving on. Next up, Saints at Atlanta. Saints are still technically in this, ain't they?
Yeah,
I
they
think
are.
So
They are. They need
Yeah.
to win. I think the Niners need to lose, and they'll be in.
yeah,
That's not happening.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
whoa,
they are
whoa,
playing the
whoa.
Rams.
Niners are playing the Rams.
So, I mean, San Francisco has won, I think, 4 times in a row or 5 times in a row against the Rams. So that will have to continue. Because
yeah.
if they break that curse, they're done.
Yep.
And because I think New Orleans is playing Atlanta. So
Yeah.
that's not no guarantee for.
I
New
wouldn't say a
Orleans.
guarantee, not with
never is.
New Orleans' offense.
Yeah,
that's a tough division opponent, like rivalry level. So
yeah. That's always.
Y'all always are up for that one. That's like us against the Colts. That's why I'm saying the Jags. You don't know.
Sorry,
they could shock
Nolans.
the world. They could
Dude,
shock
I think
the
all
world,
Pittsburgh
boys.
they will bow to you.
They could shock the world, because if there's one team that we're like, man, we're coming at their throat every year. It was the Colts, because it's like they can't stop our run game. They know they can't stop our run game, but that's not the same Jaguars team.
Yeah, there would be mad donations to like all the children's hospitals around Jacksonville from Pittsburgh if that happens. Like
You already
They would-
know.
they would freaking send Trevor
Like
Lawrence
Andy
a fruit
Dalton's
basket.
hospital when Buffalo made it.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah, there's going to be a standing ovation if y'all play against Jacksonville next season in Pittsburgh. They're going to give a standing O to the Jags when they come on the field. Yeah,
And then we
like
crushed
they
them
did Andy
42-0.
Dalton, like the Bills did Andy Dalton. Oh Lord! All right, so who else? What do we got in there? We got the Falcons are in purgatory pretty much. They did better than we all thought. Shit, that's a successful
that's
season
coming.
as far as I'm concerned for them.
Definitely something to build on. No question about that.
Yeah. Next up, Jets at Buffalo. Buffalo is minus 1250.
Wow.
They finna crush the. You know what? The last time they were favored that highly, wasn't that the game that they played against the Texans and lost? Was that the Texans they lost to, or was that the
Jacksonville? They lost to Jacksonville.
Yeah, they lost to Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like their offense could do nothing for whatever reason.
It was Josh Allen on Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah,
Allen on
that's
Allen
right.
violence.
That's right.
Allen on Allen violence. But this game, probably not going to be like that. Jets, y'all are fuck that. Y'all are company. Misery loves company. Y'all are with us. And Buffalo, I think Buffalo. I mean, part of me wants to say they're up there, but I know if you shut down one player on that team, they're fucked, and they know that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough December.
Yeah, it was a rough December for them. $2 super chat from Nathan Reeves says, Titans, please don't break my heart like the Suns. Ooh, yeah. I think the Titans, man, I think they're gonna, if they come out and they look good in that first playoff game, I think they might be ready. I don't think anybody wants to see that. I don't think anybody wants Derrick Henry too fresh. He ain't had to fresh. Come on, man. We'll see how it plays out.
That's
Next up, San Fran at LA Rams. Rams are minus 210. San Fran's win and you get in. So they are fighting for their right.
Absolutely.
And those Rams are in. They're in. They're in
for sure.
They're in. Think they're trying to. They're the 2 seed behind Green Bay, so they're not moving up. But I think that everybody. I mean, that's gonna be a good game. I don't know. I mean, like y'all said, San Fran's won what 4 in a row? Last 4 in a row.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Them? So shoot, that might be, that's just one of those games. Like I said with Jacksonville, it's one of them games. They're gonna get up. Listen to my false hope just spewing out of my mouth.
Hey, you're a Pittsburgher now, baby.
Yeah. welcome to Yinzer Town.
Steelers going to Super Bowl.
Oh, you
Hey.
know we're going Super Bowl. Come on.
I'm a Cowboys fan. I've been living on false hope for 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
You damn right. Them Cowboys sure have been feeding y'all that false hope. America's
right, though.
team.
Yeah.
America with 2 playoff wins in 3 decades.
Hey. That's all right.
Actually, one less than we got in Jacksonville.
Next year's our year.
Yeah, right.
This year isn't even over yet.
For real. Well,
That's just the
that should
mantra.
tell you. That should
That's
tell
the
you.
mantra. No matter what happens, next year's
They
our
already
year.
know how they feel. They already know it's over with. Anyways, next game up.
We got this one at least.
New England at Miami. Now, I think there are some implications here, isn't there?
Yes, if New England wins and Buffalo loses, New England clinches the AFC East. There may be seeding too, but I'm not sure. So New England has clinched, but it's just like seeding and division right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get their seeding up.
I think they
got
just
Miami.
flip-flopped.
Miami just got eliminated. They're out.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's still – I commend the coaching job by Brian Flores because it could have been the easiest thing in the world to say, fuck it at 1-7 and just clock it on out. And that team ran off, what, 8 in a row?
7
in a row.
7 in a row. Almost. They almost fucked around and got in.
Yeah, they were knocking on the door.
That would have, that's – And that for anybody who's a fan of teams that like have that kind of a season, that's why even with Atlanta, I'm like, that's a good look for the future. The future should be bright because you actually found yourselves in the middle of adversity, and now you got a chance to actually build on that. So their offseason should be interesting. I would assume that they probably want to spend some money, get some more pieces in there.
See how much cap they have this offseason.
New England is always like New England's kryptonite is kind of Miami. So I mean,
I just looked it up. Miami has $75 million in 2022 cap space. It's the most of any team. Oh my
God! Hey,
Jacksonville 71. The Chargers have 72.
Yeah.
So you've got some teams with a lot of dough to spend.
A lot of money to spend. Jags are going to have to spend half of that to get one player to come.
And it'll probably be a backup tackle.
Oh shit!
And it'll be a backup tackle from another team who only had like half a season of starts.
Zach Banner.
That's what it's gonna be. And then he's gonna flame out after one season, and he's gonna disappear from the roster one day. You won't even hear about it on the news.
Damn.
Next
Just
up,
look up the motherfucker's gone.
hey man,
Just black
what's
bagging
my homeboy? My homeboy Parnell. He went from the Cowboys. I was there with him in Dallas, and then he went to Jacksonville the next season. They gave him like damn near $35 million. And Jeremy Parnell, he was good. I mean, Jeremy's a good player. He had back issues, and they still gave him all that money. And by 2 years later, he wasn't even starting no more. I don't even think he was on the team after 2 years.
As long as the check clears.
Damn right. Let me get that check. Next up, Seattle at Arizona. Arizona's minus 290. Arizona's locked in. I don't know that they can move up unless no, they can't move up.
They're locked in.
They're locked in. Arizona is probably, to me, the biggest disappointment on these, in this playoff bracket that's coming together, because this was a team that they were sitting at like 9 and what?
10 and
7-0.
7
7?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was a lot.
This team fell off a fucking cliff the last month and a half of the season. I mean,
they were
losing
winning a
to
few of
those
those
teams
games
you ain't
with,
had
like-
no business losing to.
Well, they had Colt
They were-
McCoy. I mean,
Yeah, they were winning a few of those games with Colt McCoy, though. I think they beat
True.
Seattle, and I think they beat somebody else with him, too.
Yeah,
that was
They
my
at the bottom of
quarterback
it's
for a
my
year,
turn,
so
like,
I don't want to
they
disparage
really
them.
halfway into fucking fight for your
McCoy's a
right, if you
decent
ask
quarterback.
me.
Yeah, but they're fading like a Cliff Kingsbury team, though. They're doing this shit.
They are fading. I think that's the first upset in the playoffs. I mean, if you want to call it that, I mean, it's a 5 seed.
I might have to look at the lines on that game for sure, because they
Well,
are
It's
going
also
to be.
Arizona.
They're playing the Cowboys, so yes, please.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
once again, Arizona just beat Dallas. So
That's
it's very
true.
possible that Dallas does lose.
It's possible.
I think it's a coin flip.
I don't think
I
they
would
beat
say
them
this.
again.
Their kicker makes a kick. Ours misses one.
I don't think they beat them again, though.
I don't know.
I
I mean,
would say this.
Kyler's undefeated at AT&T
Oh
Stadium.
my god, he
He's
owns
good.
that place.
Yeah, he
I
does.
would say that. No, go ahead.
No, he loves him some AT&T. I'll tell you that.
I would just say that the first game they played is almost irrelevant, because the film that they'll watch to make adjustments on that game, that is going to determine who will win in the playoffs, the adjustments that are made. I feel like Dallas is better at making adjustments than Arizona is, because Arizona wasn't able to make adjustments week in and week out to stop the slide that they were having. Come on, you lost to the Lions. You lost to the Lions. You got your ass kicked by the Lions. I mean, that's the film I'd be watching if I'm the Cowboys. Let's watch this Lions film, and let's just see how they really pick these cats apart. And, our previous game that we played against them as well, and that'll tell you pretty much, how that'll set your game plan for beating them.
Right.
So I think that they're first out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Seahawks,
Shit.
hot trash.
Hot
they're,
trash.
Hot
They're so
trash.
hot trash, they're going to run Russell Wilson out of town.
Shit, Russell's like,
and or Pete Carroll. I mean,
Yeah, I'm going to take my fine-ass wife out of here.
For real. He said, shit, you made me spill cognac on my $200 suit. I'm gone.
oh fuck.
Oh, shit. Nobody can tell. Who can tell me what movie that's from? I know Justin probably know. Next Friday.
Oh, the next Friday.
Hey, slow down, go around them corners, nigga.
A pinky.
Almost made me spill yak on my $200 suit.
That's
all
the
right.
one with
Good
the
Christmas movie.
That's Pinky.
With the white kid in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When Day, that's your cousin.
They was smoking into the fucking vacuum cleaner at the back of the store.
Yeah, the actor that played that kid, he actually killed himself.
I know, that's crazy.
Terrible.
Played,
he was in the
Roach,
movie
right?
Kids too. He was amazing in that movie.
Yeah, he was in Kids. Yeah, I remember that. All right, next game up. We got Panthers at Bucks. Bucks are minus 380. Bucks are set. We know where the Bucks is at. They have Tom Brady on their team. Panthers, hot trash, and pretty sure, that's not gonna be a fun game. Next game up, and this is the last one on week 18 for the Tiermaker. We got the Chargers at the Raiders. Now, this game is interesting.
This
There
actually
is
matters.
a scenario here that can play out
Where they both make
where
it.
both the Raiders, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, both the Raiders
No.
and the Chargers
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
right. I
can
just heard that.
tie, and then they both can go to the playoffs.
But the Jags had to beat the Colts.
But the Jags, once again, we got to beat the Colts. We
Look where it
holding
brought you.
somebody's destiny
back to
in
me.
our hands. And I think they were talking about this. I heard them talking about this earlier today on one of the sports shows, and they're talking about it as if this is okay. So maybe they can both kneel the whole game. Like, would that break any NFL rules if they just both took a knee the whole game? And I'm thinking to myself, but motherfucker, the Jags got to win before you can even get to that discussion.
And that game's going to happen first, so they'll know.
And that game's happening first, so you already
all
know
that-
by the time that game starts.
It's probably going to be all what if scenarios, and then it realizes like, okay, that probably doesn't happen.
Yeah. And
It's
also,
one of
I
these
mean,
situations where it's like you think all these different scenarios, and then like the most likely situation ends up occurring. So it's just
Yeah.
going to be a fight to the
Mm-hmm.
death between LA and.
these are
both
division
Vegas.
rivals. They're not going to do each other any fucking favors. You know, if they have a chance to win,
Shit.
they're obviously going.
Hey, you
For
know
the-
the little
each other's
handshake
throat.
emoji? Hey, we both get in, bro. We can both get in. No, but I want the win. No, listen. We both win. We
Nah,
both
you
get
telling
in the
me
playoffs.
if you had a situation where you and the Colts could both get in, if you tied, you're not. There's no way
Hell
you're not
no.
trying to beat their ass.
You motherfuckers, I dare y'all to take a knee.
Yeah,
we
so
running
this is the
straight
same
down
thing.
y'all
This is-
throat.
It's a
Nobody
division
wants
game.
to win that way.
It's a division
nobody
game.
wants to get in that way. You want to win. It's not like soccer.
But you
No.
both get in.
Yeah. It's not soccer where the motherfuckers just if you just play and pretend that you're playing hard and it ends in a 0-0 draw, like, and that's acceptable. Nah, man. You want to play to beat that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Americans.
You don't
If
want a
this was like-
division rival getting in with you at the same time too.
Yeah, if this was just a conference game or even a intra-conference game, maybe
Hold on.
they
Hold on.
make some decisions toward the end to not
But you
I
wouldn't
envelope
even
and
have
risk
to
something.
play them.
But if I
Because they
win,
would play
I'm in.
against Cincinnati.
If I win, I'm in. So
Yeah,
That's
I'm
If
trying
you
to
don't win and you tie, you're in as well. And
Then that's
so
my
are you. We
backup.
both we
But
can
why
both
not
leave
win?
the field celebrating.
why not win?
Why not win?
I don't like
But
you like
didn't
that.
lose.
I don't ever like an opponent. You're my opponent. Like, we're not playing to
I mean,
win.
they could crawfish on you at the
technically
very end
not
of the game.
opponents if we can both not lose. We would both benefit equally.
Yeah, but I don't like you.
Or we could just do a kickoff. We could just every team
All right.
could just throw the ball down to the 35-yard line and just do field goals the whole game.
Ooch, you're a Jacksonville Jaguar, and you're playing the Colts on the last game of the season. Peyton Manning's big forehead ass staring across from you. He looks at
Fuck
you
him.
and says, "Ooch, if we tie, we're both going to the playoffs." You would be like, "Fuck you, Peyton Manning, little bitch ass fucking sheriff forehead, big
I
ass
would. I'm not
forehead
gonna lie. I'd be
motherfucker."
like, "Fuck you, motherfucker."
Or you could do
Duval! Just run down the field.
you do the Vince McMahon and Bret Hart. Like, oh yeah, we'll tie. We got
Oh,
you.
the Montreal
screw job.
screwdriver.
Soon
Yeah.
as he turned around, sent him right through the damn window.
And when it's your turn to do the last kneel down, oh, gotcha.
Oh, fake the deal. He lobs it up. Chark is by himself. And he drops it. Game's over. Oh, Lordy. So that is it. We got another super chat here. One from Nathan Reeve. $2. He says, how important is it
Oh, shit.
losing Gallup for a
I forgot about
rematch?
that.
That's big, man.
That
That's
is
very
big.
big.
He was
He
coming
was
up.
our go-to deep threat.
You know, the thing is with Gallup,
Ooh.
he had the sure hands. Like Cooper and CeeDee Lamb are sexy because they get open for the big plays, but Gallup had the
He's your
sure
possession
hands.
guy. He's going to move
Yeah.
the chains.
So he's a big loss. I mean, I think the Cowboys will be fine. I think I'm amazed by a lot of these teams losing part. Like the Bucks could be fine in the playoffs even without Godwin and Evans and all that shit. But
yeah, I think we'll make it work because I mean he didn't play for the lion's share of the season, and Cedric Wilson I think had flashes of what could be. I mean there's enough guys. I mean there's only one ball.
Yeah.
I don't need 4 receivers out there every play. A serviceable tight end, the 2 star receivers, if you will. As long as we're playing at home, usually Amari shows up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Amari does.
But down
I think
in
he
the
had
red
3
zone.
catches last week.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had. Now,
Not much.
hold on now, but what about the situation with the Bucks and Antonio Brown, though? Because they haven't released him. And they're saying now, or at least Antonio Brown's people are saying, that he had like a serious injury and was in serious pain. And they got a second opinion from some doctor.
So serious that he did jumping
MRI
jacks off the field.
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
serious that he's doing these incredible cuts. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean,
They haven't released him.
Now he has rights.
I think they're holding him just so somebody else
they're
can't-
probably trying to
can't
figure
sign
out
him.
how to do this without a grievance or
right.
without paying
He
him.
he could just say, "Hey, look, I was just going to the locker room for treatment. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I took off my gear."
as you threw up the peace sign and headed straight for an Uber.
Listen, I took care of my own transportation. Okay, y'all should be thanking me. I left the spot open on the team plane for y'all to take,
man.
my shoulder pads
I
back.
actually found out I had the Rona, and I didn't
Yeah,
want to
I
be on the
don't
plane. I didn't want to be on the plane with you guys. I did you guys a
I
solid.
tested positive on the sideline.
Right.
I decided to go ahead and take it in.
Look, I'll be get a private plane. But also,
Listen,
did you see he showed up at the Nets game?
And then he was at the next
Yes.
game.
But I mean, don't you need to be have a legal vax card to go?
Oh
to
yeah,
Nets
because
game?
Kyrie Irving
Gotten
can't
back.
play.
So, like,
Good
would he be
question.
properly vaxxed by the time that
Kyrie
happens?
couldn't play.
He said, "Yeah, stop by CVS on
He
the way to
probably-
the game."
He probably bought one in Queens
Wait.
on the way in.
I thought he got vaccinated even though he had that card. They said
he probably flashed that card. Like he never threw it away. He
Pulled
was
it
like,
out,
"Oh, shit, I got
he
this."
flipped it like a fake FBI agent, just flipped his thing, looked, and put it back in his
To be
pocket.
fair, not everyone knows the details. Like, it's in a separate county.
Yeah.
Like, people checking the card probably don't know that.
Yeah, some security person at Barclays, he can barely function. Like he's just like, oh, he has no idea it's Antonio Brown. He's like, oh, okay.
"Oh,
He
this
looks
is
at
good."
thousands
Yeah.
of people's shit all day. He's just like, please leave me
He
alone.
stopped looking at faces an hour ago.
Yeah,
Right.
fucking care.
Yeah,
Unless you
I
got
mean
titties.
that's a weird situation. I would think they're not releasing him because as soon as you release him, he will be signed because he's going to be the harder.
That's
He's going to be
true.
somebody. He's going to be the help for somebody's playoff run as
Right,
soon as he gets released.
right.
He will not clear waivers. He will not clear.
That's actually smart.
Kevin Michael Von Magnum for 5. He says one of those teams has to likely play either KC or Tennessee. The Chargers and Las Vegas are going to kill each other.
Yeah.
It will.
Plus, they're
Yeah.
division rivals.
Yeah,
They're
they are
going
rivals. They're
after
not. They're
it.
not.
I
They're
can
not letting
oddly
that shit
switch. Like, I can weirdly see the Raiders winning this one just out of some like weird like magic.
The ghost of John Madden. He's
Yeah.
sending them to the playoffs, baby. What if they win the Super Bowl?
You know
what
what's
if the
funny?
fucking Raiders win the Super Bowl?
Here's the ironic thing, though. It's like because they're gonna kill each other is why they would end up tying, right? Because they're like scrapping and going for it on 4th down and shit. Like that's the shit that would cause the tie.
We're
Not
going for everything, boys.
Yep.
Go for it.
and it'd be like 2020 after 10 minutes of
Oh
overtime.
Lord.
Oh my God. Golf Mike for $4.99. He says 5 should know. World Cup tie Austria versus Germany. Both tie and get in, or Germany scores 3 goals and Algeria got it, Algeria got in. Disgraceful game. Oh, so explain
No,
that to me, 'cause
actually,
I'm not quite-
Algeria got screwed in that because I think Germany and Austria agreed to tie before the game. So they fucked Algeria.
They said,
and then
fuck
the-
those guys. Let's
yeah.
get in.
And then the World Cup changed the rule so that on the last day of the round robin, all 4 teams have to be playing at the same time, so that the one team doesn't know the outcome of what happened in the other game. But I think in that case, it would have screwed Algeria either way. But it's fucked up. Like 2 neighboring countries. It's like if the USA and Canada got together and was like, "Yo, let's fuck France." Like we just tie. We can fuck.
It'd be
France.
easier for both of us if we just keep them from getting in.
We'd be like, Canada.
Let's go, Canada. Eh?
Let's go, Canada. Just send me a case of maple syrup, and we'll send you some beer or something. I don't know what America's best export is.
We'll send you
corn
syrup. We'll send you a gallon of corn syrup.
Yeah.
For your excellency. All right, guys. Well, that is it. That is the Tiermaker.
Oh, we made it.
For week 18. We made it through. It's a quick one. We got that one done. I mean, we already knew half the teams were garbage, so the other half was the only ones we really had to talk about. And then my Jaguars and their fateful Sunday that's coming up. Clown out. But yeah, that is it for us here. Urinating Tree, 5 Points Videos.
Justin actually, real quick.
Tree, you dropped sports ball, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Did you guys see that they're entertaining Dallas as a backup site for the Super Bowl?
Yes. Because LA and their
LA COVID protocols are so crazy. And like Gavin Newsom will not fucking back down at all.
Yeah. They extended the mask mandate to the February 15th, I think.
I believe so.
They canceled this motherfucker.
They canceled the Grammys.
He will burn it down.
Here's my question though: like, why is SoFi considered an indoor arena / mask mandate, yet they had to go inside for a lightning delay, even though they're in a dome? I don't get it.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Of California.
Well, California is a mess.
That's definitely weird. That is weird.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
That is very weird. So Dallas would be the backup?
Yeah,
they reached out to,
of course it would
AT&T.
Jerry Jones would love that.
Oh, Jerry
said, bring them my way, boys. Bring them my way. It'd be great to have my Cowboys in there.
I'll take them stupid Californians business all day. That's right. Down here in Texas, we do things big.
Even in that Super Bowl, there
big out here, go big, go home.
Close-ups on Jerry Jones himself. Every time.
Why not?
I'll give you half the profit.
Eyes on that as we get closer to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you get my boys in there, I'll give you half the profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, the NFL can make that happen, right?
You can see that.
Ref ball.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, he has the money to throw around to make that happen.
I mean, he owns half of the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, like either that or Stan Kroenke's gonna like double him and make sure they get it.
What I mean?
Every time there's a video review, the ref picks up the pad and it's Roger Goodell in his office. He's in his big leather chair. He's like, that was a catch.
That was a catch.
What should we do here?
Yeah, take the touchdown away from Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
that's not a touchdown.
Oh, you got a hot mic.
Throw 15 on for taunting.
It's like what? Hold on. Who's the highest TV ratings? Is it Pittsburgh or is it Green Bay? Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay. 15-yard penalty to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Back them up. Out of field goal range. Get them out of field goal range right now. Tree, you dropped sports ball yet?
Yes, sir. I did. Sports ball, and then probably a surprise bid in the next couple days. So
nice. What about you? 5 Points. I know you got. What's your next? What's your next study on? What are you studying?
Doing a video on FedEx Field. Why it's gotten so bad.
Oh yes. Dude, that's got to be a fucking gold one right there.
It's gold, man. There's so many
memes
like it just
everywhere.
Stop. Like every time you think you found like the worst incident, like I had to leave stuff out because there were so many.
God, that might get me demonetized.
Well, no, it's just like I didn't have time to talk about that game when they played the Chiefs and only like 2,000 people showed up. Remember that? It was like in the middle of winter, and the Chiefs were like 13-3, and the Washington football team was like 3-13, something like that.
Was
and
that what 2018?
Yeah, it was like
preseason game.
No. It was a regular season game. It was like 31-0 at half, and no one was there. Like literally, the entire stadium emptied out. But they had an official attendance of 56,000. I was like,
oh, of course.
Yeah.
So somebody bought them seats up.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the lowest attendance ever.
Oh
man,
no,
let me tell you something.
The
No,
lowest.
there was some
the-
bad attendance. Was probably I think like some of the old like 95 Oilers, 96 the year in Memphis. Those are some of the lowest. I think those were like 15, 16,000
No, well,
attendance.
the lowest physical attendance, because I did a video on this, so I know. There was a game in Green Bay where it was like 1, 2, 3 feet of snow. Like people couldn't even get in. There was like 1,000 people there, and then there was some scab games during the lockout in 82 or something like that.
Replacement.
And yeah, with replacement players in Philly, I think like 400 people showed up or something like that. It was like ridiculous.
Keanu Reeves and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
All right, guys, well, that's going to be it for us here on Lineman Life Live. We do appreciate you for being in here. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already done so. We will see you next week, as we will then be going through our playoff bracket.
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Talk
That
about
will be
playoffs. Just trying to win a game.
Yeah, it's a one-game season next week. So, with all of that being said, I do appreciate you guys, and we will catch you all on the next Lineman Life Live. Holla, holla.